Brian, you want to show me the Zoomers at home when you get a chance?
That's why it took me a little bit because I went.
I'm free. Like, say hi to Kathy because she's like, so I'm free.
Hi, Kathy.
We're all done. You just missed it. That's funny, right? Isn't that a good one? At least I think it is. Why are you just staring at me like that?
I'm just still laughing on the inside.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, what about Greg? 1, 2, 3. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Good morning, Greg.
I think we're...
Yeah.
Hi, April, Jenny, Luis, Peter, and Salvador. Nice to see you guys virtually.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, a little more enthusiasm. Let's try it again. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You probably don't want me having you guys stand up and do calisthenics to get the energy going, so be careful. I'll do it.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious that he brought that up, because at the Csu event, one of the main speakers, that's his thing. That's how he gets the room going. He has everybody stand up, and we stood up and sat down 5 times. Mm-hmm. By the 5th time, Aaron was going, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I got to stand up again."
So I rolled my eyes the first time, and the second, third, and fourth, I was like, actually, this is the jam. I like the way they create the energy in the room. It gets you going.
Yeah.
And then the 5th time, I was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really exciting and inspirational when we were there.
I mean, it's so true. You guys, we had so much fun at Csu. I truly thought we were going to a tech event. I thought Aaron was going to just absolutely love it, and he did. I thought, I hope I can get through it because I'm not the tech person. You guys all know that. But it was absolutely amazing. We've been to events in Omaha, California, been to quite a few, and they're always amazing. You get to talk to top producers across the country. I love the collaboration. You guys know how I feel about that. But this one was special in that the energy in the room was incredible. And there was top producers from all over the country, a brokerage that had over 800 agents, down to a transaction coordinator that was there representing her team, and she was new to transaction coordination. And so it was just such an amazing group of people getting together. And yes, the energy was the way it started. And I think even Amy loves, who's your guy? Tony Robbins. She even knows where I'm going with it. Amy loves Tony Robbins, and she goes to his events, and she gets so much out of that motivation, energy, just getting her head in the game. And that's exactly what this guy was talking about. That's the way he opened it up. I don't know if you guys are ever in that situation where you are just kind of in a funk. Anyone?
No.
You guys
never.
are all liars,
Never
all
happens.
of you. But just where you start your day in a funk and you've got a lot to get done. And I mean, we've all got our own ways of getting through it. And Tony Robbins starts his events, if you guys haven't seen, he's backstage jumping on his trampoline, got his headphones in, he gets himself pumped up. And we have to do that for ourselves. I mean, there's days that I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I know you guys just think I'm sunshines and rainbows all the time. But yeah, he can vouch for me. He can vouch for me. There's days I wake up grumpy, and today. So it's true. I have my moments, but I actually, Mike and my son Nick, they know that I wake up in the morning and I'll usually listen to some Audible, and if I'm in a real funk, you'll hear my Pandora playing, and there's all kinds of music that will go, because I need to get myself in the right mindset for you guys, because you guys are counting on me to come in with the energy and to come in with the ideas, and I honor that. I appreciate that you guys allow me to be a part of this. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for all of you guys. And so the fact that you guys keep coming to classes, to, I mean, even just showing up to, do your business. And I am thankful for each and every one of you that you guys give me this opportunity, but What we're going to talk about alongside that today is all of us having that correct mindset to get us through the day. Because I think probably the biggest takeaway that Aaron and I took from this was not Csu numbers, even though Csu is amazing and we really want to implement that more into all of our businesses, but the energy. And we realized that there is a little bit of a mind shift funk, or a mindset funk, that we need to shift. And we need to go into more of a growth mindset here. And I'm not talking to everyone here. There's people that are totally in the growth mindset, and a lot of you. And there are others that are just starting to get into it, and there's others that are going, I have no idea what Annette's even talking about right now. And that's okay, because that's what we're here for. But we really want to help everybody get into that mindset of having a business that's growing and scaling and getting you guys where you want to go. And so we're excited about what we're bringing home with Csu from that. Do you want to?
Yeah, in the last few months, we had our Christmas party, we had our annual events, we had our inner circle. And all three of my speeches had one thing that I wanted to make very clear to all of you guys, is that I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be working with you guys. And I couldn't be here without each and every one of you individuals looking at us for leadership and coming in and showing up and doing business. It affords us the opportunity to bring you great information, great leadership to grow your businesses. And at the Csu conference, there was a lot of eye-opening scenarios that Annette and I said, oh my God, we got to do that, or we have to finish this plan, or we have to do this. We came back with 5 pages of things we wanted to implement at this office. And I know what you're thinking, oh my God, he's going to start all this Tony Robbins stuff.
Everybody get up.
Everybody get up.
Start jumping.
Trampolines for everybody. We're not, but we are going to bring some more energy and some more improvements to our training and our lead generation and banding together. And to give you a kind of a bird's eye view of what it looked like out there, when we arrived at the Csu conference at the Hyatt, there were 40 different teams in that room. I was one of the presenters in that room discussing Csu metrics, talking about how to grow a team, how to build it. But part of me said, I am not running Csu and working together with my agents at the level I saw some of these other guys, and they were blowing my mind on what they did with their teams. And we're right there. We've been working really hard on this brokerage for the last couple of years coming out of COVID to get to this point. And now we have a very clear vision of where we want to take the brokerage with all of you guys. 40 top producers and teams in one big room sharing all this information, going through Csu from the transaction management to the conversations to the transaction count to building teams. It was amazing. Then all of us got into a shuttle and drove a mile down the road to another brokerage. One of my mentors that I've been working with for about a year now, her name is Spring. She has a 6,500 square foot office and she has 45 agents. And all of those agents came down in a huddle like this, opened up their Csu matrix, and then said, here's what I'm doing today, here's what I'm doing tomorrow, and here's how I can be better. And each one of these guys, there was guys that were 18 years old, and I think maybe the oldest person on that squad was like 32 years old. Very young, all new agents that have been with Spring for about a year or so. All of them were banded together. All of them had their Csu metrics up on their phone. And the one big takeaway was 20 conversations was equaling transactions for these guys. And everybody got up and said, I'm going to do 20 conversations today, and if I fall short, I'll do 30 conversations tomorrow. And they added them up. And everybody said, what is your goal today? Nick, your goal is to have 20 conversations and set an appointment today. What type of appointment? A listing. They went in knowing exactly every single day what we're going to do and what we were going to achieve. And when I saw 40 people with all their pipelines on 4 TVs and those guys getting up and deliberately saying, this is what I'm going to do today, and ask leadership, how can I help you do that today? Everybody had numbers on the boards. I mean, these guys are doing 3, 4, 5,000, 3 or 4 deals per month, and they only have like 1,500 homes on the market there, right? This is in Salt Lake City, Utah, right? Their normal market, and I asked them, I go, in a stable market in Utah, how many homes do you usually have on the market? Spring goes 7,000. I go, how many homes you got on the market right now? They go, about 1,000. Same type of inventory levels and issues that we're having. But all of them were like, this is a great market. They're finding off-market opportunities. They have buyers, they have sellers, they have lead generation, and they just put it into one streamlined system. And every single one of those agents are killing it over there. That was amazing. That was eye-opening. That's the kind of stuff that we're going to improve on and bring to you as soon as humanly possible. We have a lot of work to still do, but that work is for you guys, and I'm super excited and energized from it. And I feel like going to those conferences shed so much light on where we can go together.
Yeah, and really, I mean, just to kind of, I know it's one of those things that you guys, I know I focus on one thing a lot, but it really all fell back onto their attitude towards their business. And they decided they weren't going to take no for their business. They were going to have 20 conversations a day. And so I know with some of you, a lot of you, we've sat down and we've done your Csu goals, and we've looked at those conversations and how many conversations it's going to take to get you there. But if you just even want to simplify it even more, just take it to what they're saying. 20 conversations a day, 5 days a week. I'm going to have 100 conversations. If I don't do it on Monday, I'm going to do it on Tuesday. So always erase and replace if you didn't get it done. In front of you guys, and there's probably not enough for everybody. We can always print out more if you guys want more later, but I just wanted to give you guys a visual here as the same the people will see online. And so a growth mindset, for those of you who don't know, is truly just failing forward. That's, you know, something I talk about every day here, but it really is amazing when you continue to move on, even though, you know, you may have a day that you only have 10 conversations or 2, but you wake up the next day and you're committed to your business and you do it again. And really think about too, I mean, how much are you committing to that? A big statement that one of the coaches said at Csu was, if Costco was open 1 hour a week, how successful would they really be? And that's where you guys, I think, really need to think about how many hours are you putting into this, because that's what you're going to get back. Most of you are newer agents and your currency is time. If you're not at appointments, you should be using that time to create appointments. So on to the next slide. I posted on Facebook yesterday, for those of you guys who don't know, it was I believe, 13 to 14 minute video of Barbara Corcoran, and I may not say her name right. I'm not her biggest fan, but that's just because I don't watch that show, but she is impressive. She's dyslexic. She came from a very poor family, and she is obviously, now we all know, a top producer in New York City, but she's gone above and beyond from that as well. And she attributes it all to mindset, and she will talk about it in that video. But some of the things, did anyone watch it? Kevin, my man. It's absolutely amazing what she has done. Thank you for watching it. And really, that's why I brought it today, because I know we're all busy. And so I knew that maybe you guys didn't quite have time to watch it, but I wanted you to see, she actually was chosen for Shark Tank, and she immediately went out and bought 3 power dresses for her Shark Tanking. She was quite excited about it. She started preparing, educating herself, growth mindset, always be educating yourself. And she then got the phone call that after they had already hired her, at least she thought, she signed the acceptance, and they said, you know what, we found someone else.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you know what she did? She sat down and wrote a very, very aggressive email, but in a polite way, to the producer in saying that she's the person for the job. And as we all know, she is the person for the job now, and she's invested, I believe, and I could be wrong, in 13 different people who've come into that, and her world has only expanded from there. That is growth mindset. That's what we experienced in Csu, and I encourage you guys to go back and watch that video, because, like I said, I'm not her biggest fan. She's a little aggressive for me, but Look at what she's done with her business. And that's inspiring. That's huge to me. So definitely go back and watch that. What her favorite quote is her own. And that is, failure is what I'm best at. And you guys, I'm really good at it. I talk about it all the time. Erin and I have failed repeatedly, and we try to share all of those with you guys so that you can climb up that ladder faster. So keep coming to us with those questions. We kind of touched on this, so I'm not going to go too far, but I love this quote too by Charlie Munger, who's Warren Buffett's partner. And his quote was, go to bed smarter than you woke up. If you're not continuing to learn, you are failing in this business. This industry changes so fast all the time, and I hope that you are always, working on expanding your mind so that you can be better at your craft. Setting goals. We talk about this all the time. And if you don't have a finish line, how do you know where you're going? I love that we've got a lot of vision boards back there. I know that we're getting close to some people checking off some of those things on those boards, and I encourage all of you to put your boards up there. The thing that that was eye-opening to me about Csu is that Csu is not only about forecasting your future. It's also about learning where you are maybe failing, or maybe you're not excelling, and how you can be better. And Csu will help you do that. There's not a lot of people tracking their numbers in Csu right now, but you really should. And I hope that you guys start to create that habit, because when you start to visualize what could be possible, that's when it's going to get in your head, and you're going to see, okay, I need to have these conversations so that I can reach that point.
And I think kind of where we've fallen short as a leadership team, and I'll be quite honest, is we didn't dedicate ourselves 100% to what the power is in Csu. The gamification that they use against putting teams together and having the teams go against each other, having a lot of fun with it and a culture with it, was super cool to see that down there. Another thing that we saw were the challenges. They had amazing challenges set up that got you out of bed, that got you to come here, that got you to get on the phone calls or do open houses or some lead gen. Like, they really utilized the system to its fullest extent. We knew we could do that, but we never doubled down on it, guys. We really didn't. And then when I saw how it impacted their team, it was just mind-blowing on how successful they were from it.
Next slide. So they visualize it a little bit different. And I don't know if I always saw this on Csu and just got past it, but it was all over the event. Csu's motto or slogan, does anyone know what it is visualize the achievable. And I thought, wow, that's really amazing and absolutely perfect for what they do. But they focus on what they can actually control in their Csu. So this is the Csu Dashboard. You guys have all seen these. They focus on what they can control. Do you guys know what you can actually control in your business? Can you control closings? No, you can't control closings. You can control your effort. Can we control getting contracts signed? Maybe a BBA. We can't control. We've got 20 offers. I'm sorry, Buell, what'd you say?
We can have influence on it, but we can't control it.
We can't control it. So when you're looking at your Csu dashboard and you are wanting to be in control of your business, that's a great question, actually. How many of you feel like you're in control of your business?
That's not a lot of hands.
That's not a lot of hands.
We got some work to do, guys.
And that's something I think we're all entrepreneurs because you want to be in control of your business, right? They totally simplified how you can use this, in that you can control how many conversations you have and how many appointments you set. That is what you have the power in this business. So everything that happens on the front end of your dashboard will control the back end, the things we don't have control on, right? So you guys should have a focus. They called it a core obsession every single day of one thing that you're going to do in your business. And so what do you think that one thing, that core obsession in your business should be right now?
Exactly. One thing we can all control are conversations. That is our core. That is what we need to do every single day. I've done it since day one, sitting at Key Realty School, all the way till right now. I have a minimum of 20 conversations every single day, and it will not stop. That is the obsession. And not anybody in this room can tell me you can't have 20 conversations about real estate today. And if you can't, we can easily show you how to do that. And I think one of our shortcomings was bringing a lot of stuff to you guys and complicating the situation. It's very simple. Just have 20 conversations a day. And when you get hung up, that's when we get into the trenches on the training and what type of buckets you're having those conversations in. Nick, you add the 20 conversations. You don't have any lead generation. You're a brand new agent. What were the buckets of conversations you had? Was it SOI? Was it an open house? What 20 conversations did you have yesterday?
It started off with cold calling, prospecting, just kind of getting into the pond itself. But luckily, I mean, once I left a little bit shy. I was at like probably 5 conversations and like 20 attempts. But I went to the bar. I picked up a shift that I wasn't even supposed to be working. And I literally went there and I talked to 7 additional people pretty much offering my business. And it got me up to about 11, 12 conversations, which I'm going to finish the 8 today.
Nice.
And get an extra 20 today. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. It's just face-to-face is a lot better and easier in my opinion.
Yeah.
Any results from the 11 conversations that you had?
I did acquire a potential client yesterday at the bar.
Simple.
Yeah.
Simple. He'd even hit his goal. He didn't hit his goal yesterday, but he's going to hit it today, and he's got a potential new client. Brand new agent. I can look over to the back table where my seasoned agents are, and I can ask Sonia the same thing. Sonia, did you do 20 conversations yesterday?
She just got back.
You did. I was hoping you were going to say no, and I was going to use your vacation as an example, but go ahead.
Okay, well, I had 20 conversations via telephone with current clients, but not with new clients or new potential leads. So, no,
Okay.
I didn't make any new phone calls.
Okay. So they were talking about a quality of life, and I knew you just went on a vacation. And one of their agents said, I didn't hit my goals this month because I took a week's vacation. But she goes, I know exactly what I need to do today that I'm back in the office to make sure I meet my monthly goal. And it just boiled down to how many conversations did she miss while she was on that vacation, right? So just simplify it to that. And if your conversations want to be from the pond or Facebook leads or Zillow leads or Realtor.com leads or Sphere of Influence or open houses, we can find all of those conversations pretty damn easily, whether you're a seasoned agent or a new agent. Sean, you have a question?
No, I don't have a question. I actually have a statement. I'm new to the first meeting, but I'm learning a lot behind the scenes, like it's overwhelming, but there is a lot to learn. So I'm new every day. I'm trying to learn new things about my business. Oh, excuse me, my voice. I'm trying to learn new things about my business, be it watch YouTube or, something that was sent through you, Aaron, or somebody here. And it's a lot. You do have to take a lot of time. And I actually put my own business aside right now because I own a commercial cleaning company to really try to do this 100%. And sometimes it's a really big sacrifice. But I talk to everybody. Like, and when I say everybody, the other day I got 3 leads. I was actually in the drive-through at Voodoo Chicken right off of here on Craig Road. And I just started talking, and I got my panels put on my side door that says, who I am, what I work for, and who I work for. And the guy looked at my panels. He goes, "Oh, you're a broker. I've been looking for a house. I'm starting to look for a house now." He says, "I got 4 kids." And I was like, "Oh, really? Here's my business card then. Or you can take a picture of the side of my door." And he was like, "Because I can't find anything." And so from that day, I got one at the grocery store, but I just talked to everybody. And I think that when we don't do that, and have conversations when we're trying to sell ourselves, because we're our own walking business cards. And so when we talk to people and they want to know what we do, it's important to like relay that, hey, listen, you know, you need a house. Like, are you still renting? You know, you don't throw money out the window. Like, those things for me, and I'm a new agent, and so for me, I'm still learning, so I don't know everything. If I say something that's wrong, please tell me. But I think that I just want to give my input on what we can all do, because I'm trying to make money in this business, and I'm trying to make people happy in this business so they can return or either tell somebody about me so that I can have return clients.
And we appreciate that. And it is that simple. Those conversations are going to equal appointments for you, Sean. They're going to. And that's what I noticed on every one of those team members over at Spring's office in Utah. Every single one of those guys were setting appointments. That was the core obsession. We do want to make that a big part of our culture.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing. One of the things they mentioned is that these conversations, what you guys are doing, also for your mindset, you are not looking for closings. You're not looking for contracts. You're building relationships. And that's exactly what Sean is mentioning that she's doing. That's what Nick's doing at the bar when he goes to his second job. He's building relationships with these people. Relationships will lead to contracts and closings, but if you have the mindset that you're walking around looking for your next deal, everyone's going to see that and feel that, and they're not going to like that. And so build the relationships, and again, the front end will lead to the back end. So this slide is just, some of the ways that you guys can get leads. And I just want you guys to know, if you go into ERS training, go into the Monday training or the Wednesday training, underneath the live feed is all of the recordings of everything they've ever done. There's hundreds of hours of lead generation options. Different ways that you can grow your business. You can actually pick the drop down and pick lead generation and go watch all of those videos. If you're not sure how you want to grow your business and how you want to have these conversations, they're all there for you. And obviously keep coming to boot camps, because I talk about it in every single boot camp, how you guys can grow your business. Next slide. So, those two slides somehow kind of mixed together. That's weird. Anyways, 20 conversations. We talked about that, 100 a week. Some of you are like, I don't have time for that. And that's okay. If that's, again, I want you to keep in mind what you put into your business, and I'm not guilting you or shaming you. I'm just telling you what you put in is what you're going to get back. And if you are not putting the time in, you're not going to see the results. But set yourself a smaller goal for a minute. Maybe it's just calling your SOI. Set yourself a goal that you're going to call 10 a day. 10 people in your SOI. At the end of the week, you've talked to 50 people. You've told 50 people that you were in real estate. Again, don't start that conversation by saying, hey, haven't talked to you in 5 years. I'm a real estate agent. Do you want to buy a house? Don't do that. That's icky. No one likes that. And they feel like you probably are just being that used car salesman that nobody really wants to deal with. So the way that you have this conversation is go onto Facebook, go onto Twitter, go onto Snapchat, wherever you have your people, and look at what's happening in their life. If they have a celebration, if they have a graduation, if they have a milestone, if they are just happy about something, an anniversary or birthday, call them and tell them congratulations or happy birthday. Because think about how much you guys appreciate that message, either a direct message or a message on your feed. How much are you going to appreciate that phone call? And I promise you that phone call will lead to real estate, because everyone loves to talk about real estate. So call them, wish them a happy birthday, ask them what's going on in their life, and they're going to turn around and ask you what's going on in your life. And that's when you can talk about how exciting your business is in real estate. And then real estate conversation just goes from there. Once you open that door, everyone loves to chat about it. So next slide. When you guys are having these conversations, I just wanted a reminder, because a lot of people have conversations all day long and they forget the most important thing. And what is that? It's literally right here, you guys. Ask. Ask for the appointment. Ask for the referral. Ask for the review. Because if you don't ask, they don't know. And so if you're doing nothing else, make sure that you're asking for their business. Do you have anything to add?
I am following your lead. You're
Okay.
doing such a great job.
All right. Well, I know that this is not the most exciting things to talk about. And I know that it's sometimes people are like, oh, I really don't need to hear it. Actually, to me, it is exciting to talk about because having the right mindset is important to me every day. I do struggle. I know I started this off with you guys probably think I'm butterflies and rainbows every day. I'm not. I do wake up grumpy, just like he said. I do wake up with the same things that you guys have going on in your life, but I choose to have a different attitude about it. I choose to do something differently because I don't want to live my life in a funk. I see too many people do that. I've lived it myself, and I don't want to live angry, grumpy, sad, or miserable. I want to be happy, and so you guys can make that same choice. I feel like most of the people in this room, you guys do choose to be happy all the time, and I love that about you, but take that into your business as well. So I'm not going to read all of these to you, but I do have in the back of this some things that you can start doing today in your business to create that growth mindset. Maybe it's, I'm going to take a webinar once a week. Maybe it's, I'm going to commit to making those 100 conversations. Really, you guys can't go wrong unless you're doing nothing. And so take a look at this list, focus on something, grab one thing, because creating new habits is very difficult. And so grab one thing, focus on that. Once you get good at that, how long does it take to create a new habit? It depends on what book you're reading. Truly does. So I'm sure you're both right. According to the book, The One Thing, it's 60 days. Yes. So 60 days, create a new habit. So pick one thing and do it for 60 days. And then maybe try something different. A lot of us have ADD that we start something and then we're like, okay, I did that for 10 minutes. Now I'm going to go over here. Did that for 2 weeks. Now I'm going to go over here. I think everybody's smiling. You guys all know that feeling. You've all done it. So just focus on the one thing, and you're going to see more success in your business. And Aaron and I are going to keep talking about this, and I hope that it helps you guys get more into that growth mindset.
Awesome. Thank you so much. One big clap for Annette, guys.
Thanks.
Nick has something. Nick, the microphone's
sorry, go
coming
ahead.
right behind you, brother.
Actually, if anybody's actually heard of it, but has anybody heard of Big Money Energy, the book? Well, does anybody know who Ryan Serhant is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's one of his new, most recent books. It's called Big Money Energy. I'm currently starting the book itself. I've always been, and like he's been my idol, but he really drives himself off of like pretty much what we're talking about right now. And that book is very, very specific on it. I've watched his YouTube videos where he explains it, but there's like one thing that he stresses. It's called, I'm not gonna actually say it, but it's FKD, but it's finder, keeper, doer. So literally like finding the people, keeping them, building relationships, and the doer is pretty much like literally putting the action in and doing the work itself. But I love the book so far. It's literally changing my whole entire mindset.
Is that the name of the book?
That's the name of the book, Big Money Energy, and he really stresses towards branding. Literally not like towards companies or anything like that, but branding literally like your individual self, because you are your brand of your business. So
I love that. And he's a
recommend.
real estate agent in New York as well.
Yes.
And he's a top producer. For you guys that don't know, he has an amazing podcast that you might want to check out as well.
So, you know, I just want to share with you guys, I was homeless at 18, 19 years old, living in my car at a car wash, okay? And I really, really built myself up. You know, I went into the car wash and said, hey, I need a job. I worked and I changed clothes inside of the car wash until I could do better. I became a waitress and then decided to go to college. Got to college, went to college, got a degree in criminal justice, went back to college, got a degree in respiratory sciences. And I say that every day that I get up, I have intent to do better than the day that I did before. It's really, for me, it's really a mindset, because really how I think is really what I put into the universe and what I get back. And a lot of times I can tell when I'm not in alignment, because the things that are happening around me are also not in alignment. And it's just like getting into a routine of things. Like I work out, and sometimes I go to the gym and I look at the gym and the gym looks at me, I look at the gym and I go, oh no, I can't do it. I even go in my boots sometimes. Like if I don't feel like going back to the house and I forget my gym clothes, I go and get on the treadmill in my boots. But when you're really determined to do something, it happens for you. And I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but I can just tell you where I came from, raising 4 kids and having to go to college and having to get on the bus and having to do the things that I needed to do to get to the point where I need to be today. And so I still have that mindset today. And part of what my issue is getting organized in something new, where I'm trying to organize everything new. But I just encourage everybody to every day get up and try to do something, whatever that is, that's going to inspire you to get up and do that thing. And so really that's pretty much what I wanted to add.
Love it. Thank you, Sean. We're going to move on to now having the business. How many of you guys have or have been in the situation where the seller also needs to buy and they want you to advise them on that? Buell, Amy.
You might get a buyer
Corley.
all of a sudden and you didn't know that that buyer needs to sell.
Yep.
There's a good group of people in here
Does
that
it-
are dealing with that and or will be dealing with that in the future.
For sure. A lot of people are seeing that equity and they're thinking, what can I do with this? And so you guys are going to be having these conversations. Any of you that raised your hands, would you like to share what you say to a seller? I don't want to put you guys too much on the spot. I know I didn't ask you beforehand, but any of you?
I'd like to hear Buell's.
Okay. What do
So-
you say to your sellers who also need to buy and they're asking you, how do I do this? What's the best way to go?
Well, we're going to put your home on the market. We're going to list it at a competitive price, and we're going to field all the offers that we get, right? We're going to pick the one that works best for you, not only on price, but on time frame, so that we can be aggressive in your search and make sure we secure the best option for your family.
So you're going to help me sell my house for top market, right? And I'm going to get this amazing offers. I'm going to get all this money. Where am I going to buy? How am I going to buy? I hear that the market is just insane on the buy side with 30 offers on every house. What are we going to do?
Well, that's why we're going to position you to have the strongest and most competitive offer, and we're going to tap into not only your motivation, but the motivation of the other seller so that we can capitalize on that and maximize the attractiveness of your offer. While there is a low inventory situation, there's still record deals being done every month, so action is happening, and the people that are positioned best with strong competitive offers are getting deals done, and that's what I'm here to do for you.
I am super nervous that you're going to sell my house and I'm not going to have one to move into at the very same time. What are we going to do when I'm outside in the streets with my U-Haul and you haven't found me a house yet?
That's no problem. We have what's called a post-possession agreement. A lot of people call it a lease back, and we're going to work that into the acceptance of your offer. So we're going to get you at least 30 to 45 days to live in your house rent-free while we find your other place.
And what if you can't find me that other place within that 45 days? What are we going to do? I'm going to get kicked out of a house, or are we going to be able to really find a house within that 45 days?
Well, we're going to find you a house. We're going to succeed at this. Going into it, I need you to have faith and trust in me that we're going to succeed in this, and I'm going to do all the work I need to do on my end to ensure that happens. And secondly, you're going to have tenant rights once you're in that home, so they can't just throw you out on the street.
But I need a single family home, 4 bedrooms with a 3-car garage with a pool in Green Valley for under $350. I'm glad you all laughed. And the reason I said that is because you know the market conditions, because we talk about them, and you know for a fact that property's not available, ever.
Well, for you, sir, I'm going to call the owner of my brokerage, Aaron, and he's got a sweet house up in the hills in Green Valley. He's going to give you that deal, I promise.
There's one
So-
more.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, here's what I think we should do. We should go out and start looking at houses. I want to find the one that I want, and then we'll talk about listing my house.
We can definitely do that. I'll give you a week to do that. And then when you see that our offers are not getting accepted because we don't have a listing or an escrow, you're going to see the urgency that we need to get your house on the market and start fielding offers and getting you under contract so the other sellers know you're serious and know that we have a attractive offer to present to them.
I don't think contingencies are that bad right now. Like everybody knows, you put a house on the market, it's gonna sell in a week. I have no problem doing exactly what you said, going out and looking at a house first. then if you find a house, you could tell the people, here's where we're going to list at, here's what we do. Better yet, I can give you first shot. I'm sure you have a buyer that could buy my client's house, possibly get an opportunity to get into that house, give them, and at this point, trying to find a house, listing and buying is extremely difficult, but I don't have a problem going out and trying to find what the client wants, have them have realistic expectations, because selling the house, anybody can do it. It's not hard to sell a house right now. So I've tried with these people to show them a couple houses. If they find one, I'm going to go to that listing agent and say, we're going to list their house. It'll be listed in a week. It will sell in a day. If you have somebody that wants to buy that house, I'll give you first shot at it. That's something I'm trying. So.
Yeah, that's great advice. There's a couple takeaways that I want you guys to keep in mind. One, writing an offer with the contingency to sell a house is not that big of a deal anymore. Everybody in our market is encountering that. So when a seller sees a contingency, they're like, okay, I got 10 offers. 8 of them have contingencies because everybody wants to sell and buy. Okay, I accept that. That's fine. But that contingency should be written up very strong to beat out the other competition, which means, did you price that house the right way for the seller? Are you guys in a position where you can move out quickly and then move into the new home? And I want everybody to understand, Buell, you can't give a client a week to figure out where they're going to move, because that's not how this market is. Greg went on an appointment with a buyer and came back to the office and said, I can't sell their home. Not until we figure out some sort of criteria that I know is going to fit their home buying before I jump and sell their house. So what you want to do is make sure they're pre-approved. You want to show them houses on the MLS. You want to narrow it down and say, hey, based on your criteria of 500 grand, we've went and looked at a few houses out there. Do you think if I listed your house today, you would jump on one of these and potentially write an offer? If they say yes, then it's time to put their house on the market, field the offers over here, and get really serious about their home buying and get ready to write that offer. That way, the two transactions come together a little bit easier for everybody, so you're not stuck with a listing on the market, closing without a new house, and you're at the point where Greg is ready now to put that house on the market because he knows he can write some offers. Greg, how close are you to getting that seller to buy? Have you, and what are you running into? What's the problem?
She's specific to Summerlin. Her numbers are okay, but the house is just, it's the same, man. We're not close right now because in the specific subdivision she really wants, there's not a property available.
So she's just on hold until a property comes available. Then you're going to list her house right
Correct.
away. And she
had a high number. We can sell her house for that amount. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm confident that would sell in a day with that. Her number is realistic in Summerlin, but it's at the low end of Summerlin, and she's specific to a subdivision where we haven't even been able to see anything in there.
Yeah.
At Deer Valley or something. I don't know exactly what it is in my notes, but just stay in contact with her, and it's
two transactions. We just don't know when,
right?
So you have to stay in contact and/or see if she'll open that criteria up. And guys, that's why we're talking about it today, is because it's a complicated situation, and you certainly don't want to lose a buyer and a seller and a possible ancillary loan and a title company with everybody here. Those clients are difficult, but they're totally doable, and we will be doing that for years to come right now with our market conditions. Sonia had a quick one, and then Amy, I'll get to you in a sec.
So I'm actually going through the same thing that you're talking about. I went on a listing appointment, and she's like, well, I need to buy 2. And I was like, okay, well, here's the comps. Let's get you on a search. Let's see if there are any homes that you would be willing to move in at that price point, and then we'll go from there. Well, I got a call back yesterday stating, okay, there is a few homes that I would like to make an offer on if we did list our homes. So now I know she's ready to move forward, and we could go back, get her house listed, and start making offers on the homes that she likes.
That's great to hear. Perfect timing, it came together. You sent her the search, and now she sees the homes. Why you were doing that, and this is something you may or may not have done, you should have signed a listing agreement with her, but said, hey, it's not going on the market until you tell me to. So you can sign that listing agreement, you can sign that BBA, and then you can wait to put the deals together. Amy?
Don't forget the Mojo Dialer and farm those communities. You've heard me say before, my biggest raving fan, 450 phone calls on the Mojo Dialer to get her into contract in Anthem. That was not an active listing. That was something that we needed to farm and find. That woman is holding regular meetings at her house. I have another one on St. Patty's Day for me to meet her friends. She sings my praises and gives out my card everywhere. If you work those communities, you know where they want, farm it for them. And it's a much different conversation. It's not 18,000 agents calling, and I have 3 properties, so I know I get inundated every day from people bird dogging. It's a much different conversation to say, hey, I have this beautiful lady who retired and wants to live in this home in Anthem, wants to live in your beautiful community. Are you interested in selling, or anybody you know or any of your neighbors? It's much more effective. It's not me, I want to list your house. It's I'm helping someone, and they'll feel that energy.
And I must be getting old because I didn't mention that. If I have a buyer that is specific for that subdivision Greg has in Summerlin, you do the neighborhood search tool, it pulls up everybody in that Summerlin community, and all Greg has to do is go, I have a qualified buyer who wants to purchase a home in your community, ready to go, I'll save you money. Are you or anybody you know, like Amy said, interested in selling? He can find the buyer, or he can find the seller, because he already has a buyer, and find that house for her.
And that is a lot easier calling. I'm not good at that. I need to do that. No doubt about it.
Yeah, you can get on the dialer today like that and have 20 conversations, and if you find that listing, I guarantee all he's going to do is go after listings for the rest of his life and be a listing maniac, because he got a taste for it, right? It's like a vampire getting blood. Once you get that first listing on the dialer, you want it every day. You want to just keep getting listings. That's in a way, it's like crack, okay? Another option that Greg can do, and this is easy, there's 300 homes in that community. He can write a letter and send the letter to those 300 people saying, this is my scenario. Will anybody raise their hand and contact me? And a lot of top producers do that, and that would cost them $150, okay? Options are out there, guys, to keep in mind.
I got a couple nuggets I'll add. First of all, for those of you that haven't been familiar, when you hear Greg, Sonia, all of them mention, then we'll put it on the market. Don't try to write an offer contingent with a seller that's not even on the market. You're going to have no success.
That's a waste of time.
You're going to have no success. The property has to be listed at the very least, preferably in escrow. Scary? No. There's another thing that Annette used to do with all of our double sides back in the day. On the listing agreement and then posted on the MLS was a seller contingency for replacement property. Sale is contingent on the seller finding suitable replacement property. Seller doesn't find suitable replacement property, there's no sale. You get buyers in this market, you'll get buyers to agree to, hell yeah, I'll wait for 2 months while they find a property, no problem. Let's sign this, let's lock this thing up. We're gonna sit and we'll wait. We've got a property, now all they've got to do is find a property and escrow starts and off we go. Both of them run concurrent, they both close, everybody wins. No risk to the seller. They don't find a replacement property, the contract's void.
That's some experience right there, baby. Go to Mike on that every time one of you guys got a question on it, because he will school you and tell you and help you. There's also one quick other thing. I know we're kind of on a time agenda here, but there's also a reverse prospecting tool in KV Core. If you guys haven't been into the marketplace, there's 50 different ways to prospect and get buyers and sellers. But there's a reverse prospecting tool. What it does is it goes into KV Core and searches the 50,000 people that are searching for certain homes, and those people are ready to buy based on the criteria in KV Core. So if you have a listing, you can find the buyer yourself in KV Core and put them both together before you even go to market and double end your listings. So just a little seed that you can go into KV Core, look at reverse prospecting, and it'll show you exactly how to do it. It'll get some of your mind going about those sellers that you guys are gonna go after.
I love it. These are all really great ideas, and I want you guys to kind of gather all of these. When I sit down with a seller, I educate them, like I tell you guys, on everything. Give them the options. Let them make the best decision for them and their situation. Another one, you guys all had some really good ones just to throw out. I tell people constantly, we live in a place where there's a lot of Airbnbs. So if worse comes to worse and they're thinking, I don't want to move and then move and then move, they could possibly rent an Airbnb for a little bit longer than the traditional. I've had people even put pods out in front of them so they don't have to pack repeatedly. So give them all the options. This isn't the first option that they'll choose, but it is an option if they get to the end of that contingency and they still need a place, that they don't have to have all their housewares, their kitchen items. They can use that Airbnb, and a lot of times the Airbnbs will renegotiate with them for a better price rather than that daily per diem if they're going to stay for a 30-day stretch. So something for you guys to throw out there to them, but give them all of the options. And my favorite one that I always throw out there is, do you have another place you can go? So that we don't have to deal with contingencies at all. Because yes, they are getting accepted in this market, but I tell every seller and every buyer, every contingency that you put on there may cost you money or may cost you in negotiations. So if you have a mom or a sister or a friend that you can go stay with and it makes more sense than you paying more money or offering more time, give them that option, because obviously that's the free one for everyone, and it's the smoothest transaction. So give them the full picture, make sure they understand what the contingency is, and then they're going to make a decision that they're going to feel empowered in, that you gave them all the options.
And guess what you're building in those conversations? Relationships.
Relationships. And we've got Matt Brewers here. Come on up. Matt provided breakfast, so let's give him a big round.
It's my favorite breakfast. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. Good morning.
Here's the microphone.
Good morning, everyone.
So another tool that you guys have in your tool belt in this situation is the lender. Like Aaron said, get them qualified. And then Matt's going to have a conversation with them as well. And he's going to share a little bit about what that looks like so you can prepare them.
Much like you guys, this is, we're really, I guess I can speak for myself, but, I do have these conversations with these clients talking about what the market conditions are, and to prepare and to understand that it's not a normal market. There's different things that they have to do. So there's always going to be different. We're going to, uncover every rock to see kind of what alternative things are possible. This is a little bit different than selling and buying, what the topic is right now, but is kind of on point anyway, I think. Have a client that's looking to buy here, and they're talking about financing it as an investment property. With the rates and what's happening right now, it can be very challenging. It's a lot shocking to a lot of people. So we talked about their primary that they own in California. It turns out they have a ton of equity. Made a heck of a lot more sense after we talked it out that they're going to do a cash out refinance on their primary, better terms, and then be able to buy in cash here, which I think is something that would help out. I think, would you guys agree, if you got a cash buyer, that you're gonna maybe gives you a little bit more ammo and to be able to get offers accepted? So that's just kind of one of the things, and I guess that's the message, is that we're there with you guys. We understand what's going on, and I think I can speak for everybody that we're really working to try to figure out the situation, how to put more money in there so they have more flexibility, and so get their offers accepted.
So, that's something we weren't even thinking of, or maybe we don't think of on occasion, is maybe I don't even need to sell your house. I just need you to pull some money out of it.
Yep.
So we can go ahead and find that purchase that you want to make. And then it's an easy buy, and you're qualified, you have no contingency, and then what? I just rent my house out? Yeah, you do.
There's a lot of different options, you guys. They've really improved, in my opinion, for financing for investment properties, and so there's different options. The house that is currently their primary, they could turn that into a rental. They go buy a new primary. It creates a different dynamic, a lower down payment requirement. So, we're happy to have these kind of conversations with you guys to see what we can figure out to put you and your clients in the best possible position to purchase or sell or both.
Yeah, I could say, hey, we discussed a lot in this consultation, but maybe we should just get Matt on the phone. He'll have a couple other awesome ideas, and he can talk to you about rates and cash out refis and some products that you might not even know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. A lot of times people have things in their mind as far as where they're at, but if you sit down and talk to them and pull credit and look at their assets and things like that, you get a much, much clearer picture of what's really possible. Sometimes people think they can do this, or they don't think they can do it, and you're able to tell them, yeah, you got lots of opportunities here. So
That's so true.
Matt-
So use your partners to brainstorm with your people. You guys don't have to know every option that he just said, but say it doesn't hurt anything for you just to take some time. It doesn't cost you anything. Just take some time to talk with my partner who's going to share with you a few more options so that you can go in this with your eyes wide open with the best decision for you.
for sure, we're in it with you guys. I mean, we need to. We're very happy when the transactions can happen. So again, whatever we can do to help figure it out to make it happen, that's part of our. I mean, that's a big part of what we do, in my opinion.
Did you have a question?
I just have I have a question for Matt. So I had a potential client, and he goes, I have $40,000 in cash. My credit is not that great. He wants to buy. He's a comedian, and he's on like some of the networks, but he wants to buy. And so, what do I tell him about cash offers with you? Like, what his credit is not like A1, but what would I tell him?
I guess I'd keep it simple and just say, hey, I have a great lender. And they're gonna, be able to provide you, hopefully answer some questions and discuss different options based on what your situation is. And I wouldn't get into it too deep because you really need to see what the whole picture is. Again, not just the assets, but the credit and work history. There's a myriad of details we got to get through. But the goal always is going to be is how can we figure out a solution? Ultimately, it's the worst conversation. It does happen sometimes where there isn't one, but I'd say a vast majority of the time we can try to figure something out for that. So your particular client, I really wouldn't know. It's great. He's got a couple of points. I mean, he's got the money available, but we got to take a look at the other sides of the equation to see if he's really in that position or not. Mm-hmm. And even if his credit's not good, it doesn't matter. I'll work with them to just offer some advisement to put them in position because let's be honest, if they're not in position to buy today, it's not like they're going to stop wanting to buy a year from now or 2 years from now. So just like you guys are talking about building a relationship, stay in touch with them. Let's be ready when they are.
When I was in production, my favorite closings, when I got a $10,000 paycheck from a client that I wasn't even thinking about that I've been nurturing for like a year or two, right? I've always nurtured them. I never knew what I was going to get paid, but like a year later, I get that paycheck. I'm like, those are my favorite. I don't know why. I love those ones a lot.
I agree with you. You throw enough of those against the wall and you keep nurturing them and they come due.
Something's got to stick.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's give a big round for them.
Hey, thanks everyone. Keep at it.
Thanks,
All right.
Matt.
Thanks,
Thank
Matthew.
you.
Appreciate you, Bum.
All right, guys, I have some quick updates. The feedback forms are now confidential. We had some people that said, I'd love to give you some feedback, but I don't want my name on it. Really curious about these feedbacks now. So bring them. You don't have to put your name in. It's not required. You can skip to the next page. We want that feedback, you guys. I mean, when we stand up here and say that we appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this with you, we truly do. But we can't guess. We're not mind readers. We're throwing stuff out there, hoping a few things stick. But we want you guys to give us some more, just what you're looking for, what can help you in your business. So fill out those forms.
Well, I don't want you to hold back. No. Like your future, your success, if you want something from us or this brokerage, just tell us straight up what it is. And your name won't even be on that. We have about 30 forms that came in so far. We're going to print them off. We're going to meet with leadership. And we're going to dissect every little one that came in. And we don't want to make any more moves with the brokerage coming off that conference until we heard from everybody at this brokerage. And we have feedback forms for the transaction coordination department, the agents, just yourselves, agents in Flex, agents in Caps. I created 9 feedback forms. I even asked our clients to rate us and tell us what we've done good, what we've done bad, and how we can improve our services at our company. All that feedback is going to funnel into me and the leadership team, and we're going to sit down and we're really going to digest what we've been doing for the last year with the brokerage. And if you haven't completed that form, please, it takes seriously a few minutes, and it doesn't have to be a long drawn out. You just say, I want more of this, click and send it. But you have to fill those out for me. What do we call it? Mandatory? It's not mandatory. It's a
expected opportunity.
Expected opportunity. I'd love all of you guys to please do. It's on Facebook. It's on the Slack channels, and I emailed it out, and I'm going to send it again 5 or 10 times this week. And anybody that's not here today, I'm going to make sure all the other agents and everybody that's here fills them out. I mean, it's really that important, and I'll harp on it because it's gonna help all of us. So please, 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 please do that for me and us.
Yes. We have contract to close today at 1 o'clock in the training room and via Zoom. And you guys, even when you're using transaction coordinators, I hope that you're coming to contract to close so you understand the process, because I also talk about setting those expectations with your client and avoiding fallout. And so this is an excellent class that's just going to make you better in your business. 1 o'clock today. Wednesday, tomorrow, 9:15 ERS training. I will be doing that also in the training room with you guys. So come on, let's have some dialogue training together. Also tomorrow is the ERS Advanced Agent Mastermind at 11:30. And that's where Andy and a few of the other people at ERS come together, and they just want you to bring your questions. So if you're curious about lead gen, if you're curious about mindset, if you're curious about business planning, whatever it is, bring it. And Andy is happy to answer your questions and share the knowledge that he's been gaining for years over there. And then we have Kevin Wool is going to be doing First American. Yeah, oh, that was sad. Let's give him a good clap.
Hey, I'm looking to have 20 real estate conversations tomorrow, so you need to show up.
Yeah. And you guys, yes, thank you, Kevin. And sign up on the team calendar so that he knows how much food to order. I know a few of you have already, and that's awesome. But go into the team calendar and Element, sign up for that one. And then Kira, real quick, wants to come up and tell you guys they made some changes with Book Club. And I love it. I'm very excited about that.
Hey, girl.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to.
Hi, everybody. So now we're revamping and doing some new things. We have a 2-month schedule. So tomorrow we're going to be discussing Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and hopefully we can do that live in the training room
Yes.
after Kevin's awesome class. So you're going to have a great afternoon here. Our next selection is sorry, why did that do that? Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. After that, April 6th is going to be Great Leads by Michael Masterson and John Ford. And April 20th will be Blue Ocean Strategy by W. Chan Kim and Renee Maubergine. Zach and I are trying to make things a little easier. He's going to put together a landing page so there'll be a place where everyone can go, see what we're reading at all times. We really want to encourage participation. We had a great turnout last time, and I think everybody got stuff out of it, even if they hadn't read the book. So I'm really hoping to get more of Resolution to join us.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is great too, because now you guys are going to be able to, thank you, Kira. Now you guys are going to be able to see what's coming up, and you can plan ahead, because we know there's speed readers in there. They're amazing. But they also like to give you guys the Cliff Notes. So if you're not a reader at all and you just want to get the highlights of it, they break it down amazingly. And so jump into that. That's Wednesday, 2 o'clock. And then I have Seller Boot Camp at 11 o'clock on Thursday. We're going to talk about the listing appointment. We are going to talk about home tour best practices, how to present the listing agreement, disclosures, and negotiations at the table. Actually, that's what's on the calendar, but that's a lot for 1 hour. We're going to talk about the listing appointment. And so we're going to go over what that looks like and how you guys can present to your clients. And so I hope to see you guys on Thursday at 11. Do you want to go over a couple listings real quick?
Well, I wanted to talk about our title company.
Oh.
So Annie Sawyer is our new escrow officer. She's been amazing. TCs have loved her. Everything is smooth sailing. When you write your offers, it's going to ask you, what is the name of the title company? It is called Meadows. Remove Landmark from it entirely. Put Meadows Title Annie Sawyer. We were opening up escrows and not getting credit for it, unfortunately, because it was when it said Landmark, it was confusing. Whatever. Just put Meadows is the only thing you need to enter onto the offer form. If anybody has any questions about that, just let me know. Mr. Wool.
On the warranty side, where I put that in the system, do you want me to create it as just Meadows then instead of Landmark? Or does it matter?
Absolutely. Yeah, just to clean things up, because it was Landmark / Meadows, and it got confusing to the internal people at the escrow company, so they just said, hey, just leave it Meadows and put Annie Sawyer, and you guys are good to go. And we truly appreciate the business you guys have been sending over there. We're actually kicking ass compared to some of the other top producers that I signed up with that company for. So I'm proud of all of you guys, and thank you very much for the business. How much time do we have?
We're out.
We're out of time, so are we going to do at least a shout out or a bell ringing to somebody?
Sure.
Okay, does anybody want to ring the bell or give a shout out to any of their coworkers for today? Come on, somebody. Mike, ring one for Nick, because he came back into this office and he's working his ass off. Okay. And then I want to give one for Angel, and I'll tell you why. Angel.
It doesn't hurt. Ring it.
Ring that. There we go.
I was talking to her.
Angel, we'll get you up next time because I know we're short on time, but Angel is helping me and Allison on a lot of our new lead generation ads, combing through everything in the ISA department, and we're going to start turning the volume up for the team. So I appreciate all the hard work you put into that, even while you're on vacation, the weekends. She's reporting to me high-level stuff on the leads we were generating, cost per leads and everything. So amazing job, because we want to continue to grow our lead generation with the ISA department for our agents. So that is definitely top of mind, and I wanted to let you guys know in the background there are things being done. So thank you, and thank you everybody for showing up today. And everybody at home, have a great day. Happy selling. 20 conversations, everybody, before 5 p.m. Netter, get on the fucking phone now. No excuses.